Okie dokie. We're back. Episode 8. Got our regular segments. New one this week. We'll get to it. I know you see what you see there, but we'll get to it. And then do some power rankings. And we'd like to welcome a special guest here, Johnny Anderson. He's brought to us by the Saudi Sports Washing Foundation. Welcome,
Told
John.
you guys I'd get ad read today. Thanks to Prince Aladullah Aziz, Minister of Sports in Saudi Arabia, and the Saudi Sports Washing Foundation for the sponsorship tonight. Saudis have great sports such as Live and a soccer league that rivals the Premier League as the best league in the world. Also has the best player in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo. We look forward to hosting the 2034 World Cup. Thank you, FIFA, an upstanding and by-the-book organization. So thanks again to the Saudi Sports Washing Foundation for the sponsorship tonight.
All right.
Maybe we cut that.
Just cut the sponsorship part.
This is the only picture I can find it anywhere.
In my bag.
Okay, that didn't
All
work.
right.
Well done. Great read. Great read.
Thanks here.
Well, God.
Oh yeah, we got to shout out Shannon here. Had a perfect week 8 for the NFL Pick'em. So well done. Nice job.
Thank you. We'll talk more about it later.
And then I'm giving myself this little nifty thing here. Any guesses what that stands for?
Jesus Christ.
No. We got officially knows college ball stamp of approval from Connor Hannon.
Yeah, he does. He officially knows college ball.
Yeah.
He needs to stay away from the same game parlays. But other than that, Tees knows college ball.
Well, I gave it out as 2.5 last week for Ole Miss, and then by the time I went to go bet it, it moved to 3. I'm like, oh, they'll cover 3 still, and they pushed. So I didn't even win my own bet. But
yeah,
if you got on 2.5, you did. But yeah,
a lock is a lock. That's why we give it to you specifically.
I guess, yeah. Other than that, Sneeze still looks good at NFL.
Yeah, I don't get a graphic for my record over there.
Get it to 70%, and we can give you something.
Yeah, but I mean, look at that sample size. I mean, freaking 40 some odd games.
We'll get it in there next time.
I gave you a graphic last time, Sneeze. So stay tuned next week. We'll see how you do.
I'm shitty.
You want to do the graphics and give yourself something? Go for it.
Yeah, good point.
All right, look at study hall. Yeah,
this is where you need to put your energy in. Maybe we need to do no note study hall.
Superdog is starting to head towards the losing streak. Well, I think it is on a losing streak.
Yeah.
But then also my 2 minutes for cashing is off to a horrendous start. So we got to do better all around. All right. Speaking of study hall, let's get into it.
One moment. Here we go.
He's still, it's between periods.
So all right, so 1 second, let me pull up my notes. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Okay, so we're going to Chestnut Hill in this ACC tilt. So Boston College is at home. They've won 5 straight games. The Hokies are already 0-4 on the road so far this year, including a loss to Marshall, who one of their Marshall is last place in the Sun Belt East. So if the Hokies lost on the road at Marshall, again, this is my classic wrong team's favorite here. Let's see. Last game, Virginia Tech lost 34-3, 140 total yards against Louisville. Louisville's I know they have a good record, but So they're going to lose 34-3 last week, and you expect them to turn around and win this game? Yeah, it's not going to happen. So anyways, I'd also like to shout out while I'm here, I'm going to shout out Thomas Castellanos. and a deep drive in the left field. However, he's the quarterback for the Eagles, and in addition to his 200 yards per game in the air, he also leads all of college football in rushing by quarterback. So he's my guy here. We got to play him in Columbia next year, so hopefully he transfers or something. But we're going with the Eagles here to win the game, but give me the 1.5 on top.
I'm assuming by the reference he's somehow related.
Must be. I don't know.
That's kind of a name that you don't really hear that often. Okay.
Hokies are quite possibly the worst major program in the country.
Yeah, they've
Kansas.
lost their way. Like I said, when they're away from home, they don't have Enter Sandman playing. They're a different team. Anyways, South Carolina by 2 touchdowns at home against Vanderbilt. Vandy, the losers of 8 straight games. Eventually, it's going to be 10 straight games because they have this game in Tennessee rounding out the schedule. In the past, Vandy's snuck up. They beat Mizzou a time or two. They beat Florida. They beat Kentucky, but they haven't beat South Carolina since 2008. That's 14 straight losses to the Cox. However, we don't just need the Cox to win. We need the Cox to win by 14. So Vanderbilt, obviously very vulnerable against the pass. Spencer Rattler threw 399 last week against Jacksonville State, which I had on the pod and was a winner. South Carolina sitting at 3-6. Their backs up against the wall. They need a bowl game. They're taking out their anger against Vanderbilt and will win by 2 touchdowns. So I'm rolling with the Cox.
All right.
Alabama by 10.5 at Kentucky. 11 a.m. game. It's going to hurt the Kentucky atmosphere a little bit. They like to get a little lit, a little loosey-goosey there in Lexington at night. However, this is 11 a.m. game. And I think there's going to be a lot of Alabama fans in attendance. And it's very interesting because they're going to have a double dip because they'll go to the Kentucky basketball game on Friday night as fans of Kentucky basketball, and they'll turn around at 11 a.m. game and be the fan of Alabama football. And they're also watch the Cowboys on Sunday. So Alabama's lost 7 straight, or they won, 7 straight after losing to Texas. They control their own destiny to win the whole shooting match. Bama's front 7 is going to be too much. They're going to slow down Ray Davis of Kentucky, who's the second leading rusher in the SEC behind yours truly, John.
Traitor.
Yes. So they're going to turn Kentucky into a one-dimensional team, and we saw how that plays out when Kentucky turns one-dimensional. They can't really pass, so I'm riding with the Tide over the Wildcats.
I like that pick a lot. That was almost my lock.
Yeah, Kentucky's not good.
Oh, and Bama's heating up.
Yeah, they are.
I'd rather go to Kingland, to be honest.
Okay, this is one of the games of the week, if not the game of the week. We got 2 good defenses here, but the 2 top 10 defenses in the Big Ten, no surprise. Michigan's allowing just 6.7 points a game. Penn State's allowing 11.9 points a game. They both happen to be the top 2 offenses in the Big Ten as well, but they've been playing scrub beanies, all of them, like Rutgers, Nebraska, you name it. This is like their only real game that Michigan has played to this point. Penn State's played all scrubs as well, except for their one game against Ohio State. And that game against the real team, Ohio State, was a total of 20-12. So, yeah, they can run up the score against these scrub teams, but when they actually face a team of their caliber, I think the scoring will come way down, and we'll play this under 45.5 in Happy Valley. Okay, to the next one. Memphis, 9.5 favorites over Charlotte. Memphis is the top scoring team in the American Athletic Conference at 39 points a game, 11th best in the country. And Charlotte is the lowest scoring points per game in the American Conference. So that tells you right there. We have the highest scoring team against the lowest scoring team. It's easy. Memphis, not just at home, they've also played 3 true road games in which they scored 27, 45, and 45 again. Their quarterback's the top 14 passer in the country. Their running back's the top 25 rusher in the country. Memphis, their only 2 losses are against 8-1 Tulane and against Mizzou in the Big Bad Dome in St. Louis. Charlotte, their 2 wins against FBS opponents. Their combined records 4-14. Charlotte's the new kid on the block in the American, and Memphis is one of the big dogs in that conference. So Tigers big in Charlotte.
I did not realize Memphis has only lost 2 games. I would have guessed more than that.
Okay, one of my favorite teams to pick is the red hot Oklahoma State Cowboys. They've won 5 in a row, including wins over the Jayhawks, Kansas State, West Virginia, and last week in Bedlam against Oklahoma. UCF is last in the Big 12 against the run, allowing 212 yards per game on the ground, 4th worst in all the country. And guess who's walking into Orlando? The top rusher in the NCAA by the name of Ollie Gordon II. 136 yards per game. So we can't stop a nosebleed on the run. In walks the top guy in the land. And he's an interesting story because after the first 3 games, he had like 40 yards a game. And then he absolutely popped off. He had 282 yards against West Virginia, 271 yards against the Cincinnati Bearcats, who I'll talk about later. UCF, they started 3-0. They lost 5 straight and then beat Cincinnati last week, who I'll talk about later. Cincinnati is trash bag. They're my favorite team to pick against. More on them later. So the Cowboys by only a field goal here. It's almost insulting. So the Cowboys are an easy pick. Okay, this is where my notes ran out. So I'll fire from the hip here. Oklahoma, their hopes got dashed last week against Oklahoma State, their rival. They're limping into this. West Virginia is not too bad of a club. I think they'll hang within 12.5 here. Oklahoma is, licking their wounds a little bit. West Virginia is looking to expand on their surprise season of mediocrity. So I'm riding the Mountaineers in Norman. And lastly, it's easy to pick against the Bearcats. I have multiple times. This is insulting as well. Houston is not that great, but they're not this bad to where they're inside of a field goal favorite at home against Cincinnati. Cincinnati is dreadful. They're like 2-7. So this is a Big 12 game now, but, it's not really worthy of such a title. But the Houston Cougars will win by a touchdown. Again, more on them later, but that concludes the study hall. So study up, get it right. Right?
But you need to tell yourself that. We're not picking these. Anyways. All right, Super Dog.
You guys like those picks or what? I didn't hear much
I did.
commentary.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. Especially the Oklahoma State one.
Parlay all 8 of those suckers. Come on now.
I love the Oklahoma State and the Alabama one and the Michigan one a lot.
I would think the worst one is maybe
Vandy
South
and
Carolina,
West Virginia.
because South Carolina is horrible.
I don't like the BC pick.
Yeah.
All right, John.
South Carolina and West Virginia are the spooky ones.
Fade me then, John Adaria.
Yeah, I'll fade you, bro.
All right, Super Dog.
Oh, this is an easy fade.
Time to circle the wagons.
Okay, so whenever I bet this, I threw it out there. Auburn was a field goal underdog, which does qualify it as a super dog. I guess now the betting public is coming to their senses here. Auburn is pretty mid. Arkansas is pretty horrible. They fired their offensive coordinator because he was horrible. And then last week they popped off and scored like 38 against Florida with their interim offensive coordinator. But guess what? The tape is out on how to stop this new coordinator. Auburn will be there. Auburn just shellacked Vanderbilt in Nashville last week. So they're ready to march into Fayetteville and do the same thing and come out victorious. They've won like 6 out of the last 7 games against Arkansas. So I think they'll continue rolling for the War Eagles.
Do you know what time this game is at?
I do not. I think it's like the 2:30 game
11
opposite.
a.m. SEC
I think it's the
network
2:30 game opposite of the Mizzou Tennessee game on CBS. I think this game's on SEC Network at 2:30 if I remember correctly.
Not the South Carolina Vandy. That game.
I think that South Carolina.
That's 11.
Yeah, that's at 11 because that's why I was at the beginning.
Oh. All right. We can move on to our locks. First up, Mr. Boyd, South Carolina, or not South Carolina, USC at number 6, Oregon. USC plus 15.5.
Yeah, I'm just keep it short and simple here. USC fired their defensive coordinator last week, who we all knew was shitty the whole fucking year. They hired a new one. I don't know his name, but you know how it all goes whenever you hire a new coach during the midseason. Everybody, they write up their guys, and the guys want to play behind them and make them want this job, and And so USC hasn't lost by this number at all this season, besides to Notre Dame earlier in the year. We saw Caleb Williams crying last week after his tough loss against Washington, and social media people have got on his ass all week about it. He's very active on social media, so I know he saw it and he's taking that very personal. And I think we're going to see the Heisman Caleb Williams we're supposed to see this weekend. And also USC star running back Marshawn Lloyd is back. He didn't play last week against Washington due to a leg injury, but he will be back in this nice 9:30 game against Oregon. And USC Trojans plus 15.5 locking in.
Does he sound like shit to you guys?
It's those AirPods.
It sounds a little computery, yeah.
Yeah, he sounds fucking awful. Team wired headphones.
Oh, shit.
All right, John's coming out swinging. All right, Connor, Rutgers at Iowa. And we're taking an over in an Iowa game.
Yeah, we're taking it over, and we're taking it for plus money. I believe this line, when I looked at it earlier in the week, was like 28.5, which is 2 touchdowns for each team plus a half a point. I understand Iowa has just been absolutely locked down, and they also can't score, which is, they've been hammering those unders. But 28.5 might be the lowest line I've ever seen in a college football game ever for over.
I think last week Northwestern Iowa was like, I think it was like 26.5, something ridiculous.
Yeah, and they went under, but
yeah,
I just think Rutgers is a little bit better team than Northwestern, and Iowa played another team the week before, maybe Minnesota. I think Rutgers can score a little bit better, which means Iowa's going to have to keep up. 17-14 is easily within the realm of possibility. So that's 31 for all you non-math folks out there, and lock it in.
How you gonna feel when that's 3-0 at half?
I'll feel a little sweaty, but
at least there's 30 more minutes.
Yeah, it's never dead.
God damn it, Shannon! You did this game.
Yeah, why?
Well,
are you gonna watch it for the entertainment value? Might as well put some money on it.
Well, fucking blows.
I can't say that I am gonna have this game on. No.
Yeah, exactly.
What time is this game even at?
That's a good question. I believe it's I want to say it's 11 o'clock.
I always feel like all the Big Ten always plays at 11.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's not true, but it just seems that way.
It does feel that way, yes.
I'm glad I won't be watching. We'll put it that way.
Do I sound better to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've always sounded great, Jevin.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Sneeze.
You look great, too.
Hey, thank you very much, man. You look great, too.
Not as good as you looked in that snap photo, though.
I know. Trust me. We'll talk about that later.
All right. John's got number 13, Tennessee, at number 14, Mizzou. With the lock being Mizzou money line.
Yeah, this was a heart pick. Tennessee beat us 66-24 last year in Knoxville. So we remember that. Heupel is a disgusting fool. Only thing that makes me nervous is Luther healthy or not, but I'm sure he's better than whatever they have. So that's all I got. Oh, plus we'll have boots on the ground with Cameron and JB.
Hell yeah.
Right.
And yourself?
I'm not going to be able to make it.
God.
He'll be with us in spirit. We'll pour one out for him before we go in.
Don't waste the beer.
And to the viewers, JB is Boyd, by the way.
I wasn't going to pour out the whole beer, John, just a sip.
Boyd, everyone that watches this knows who we are. All 45 freaking viewers.
When was the last time Mizzou was at 2:30? Besides last week, like the solo main SEC game. When was the last time they were on 2:30? And besides the Black Friday game.
Well, last year we played Tennessee at 2:30. Also, whenever it was your Twins' party.
Yeah.
On CBS.
Yeah, I'm not mad about missing that one.
We're usually good for 1 or 2 a year. I mean, this year has been a little bit more, which is nice, but yeah.
Okay, Sneeze. got
Okay, so I've been struggling with my locks, admittedly, throughout the last couple weeks, and you know why is because I would go through the slate of games and I pick my top 8, and I make that my study hall, and then I'm like, oh shit, I need a lock. So then I'm grasping at straws for what would be my 9th or 10th pick on the docket. Stuff I really don't even like that much, but I'm like, well, I need a lock. So I'm going to simplify it, but I'm going to make up for my past losses, and we're going to put these together, and we're going to pay it double. So hook these two together. Like I said, Oklahoma State's as hot as can be. UCF sucks, especially stopping the run. Cincinnati, bet against them all the time. It's been a cash cow all year. So
I was going to
stick it
say we've been
together.
making good money against Cincinnati.
Yeah. So let's keep it simple. I don't need to dig in the bottom of my barrel. I'm just going back to the well because the well is wet.
All right.
You heard the man.
I also got a twofer. One of them is the same game. The other one's Texas Tech at Kansas. This one is a spread parlay, though. Both teams at -2.5. I moved Kansas. I think their normal line was 3.5. Moved it to 2.5 because smart betting. I don't know if Vegas knows something we don't, because I agree. I think that Oklahoma State line is outlandish. It should be more like 6.5, maybe 7.5 for both of these teams. So I don't know what they know. I mean, as Hills would say, they're trying to bait us into taking this, and as we always say back, we're taking it.
Yeah.
So
did you guys see? Sorry to interrupt. Did you guys see Kansas's coach interviewing for the Michigan State job?
Maybe that's why. That'd be an awful gig.
John, I haven't seen someone bet on the Jayhawks since you did.
Allegedly.
That was a different sport.
Show me the slip.
Also, shout out to
different sport.
Yeah, and fuck Grady Dick. I hope he dies.
Boy, who you shouting out?
I said shout out to Hills as well.
Shout out Hills.
Talking about him.
Yeah. Shout
out.
Yeah,
he said they'd be baiting us. Well, I'll take it. All right, yeah, so lock them in. Parlay them. Again, nice big-ass payout. So, all right, pick 'em challenge. First game over in Germany. As Connor says, you want to say it when you sent us the games this week?
Yeah, so this is Verdun Schuh, as the Germans would say, against the Patriots in Germany. You got any tidbits for us or Teeps?
I don't, but I'll stick with going first just to.
Oh, I do. Colts are a disgusting organization.
Oh, all right.
Did you see the owner dancing like a crackhead after the win last week?
He's getting down with his players.
Yeah, I mean,
Boyd's having none of this.
Okay, I watched that. So when I was watching that, was somebody needing to hold his hand to keep him upright?
He did.
Or was I?
Very old.
I was wondering why.
I said on Sunday in 2 years we're gonna hear some bad news because he looks unhealthy.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if I was seeing that right or not, but it looked like someone's holding his hand.
It did for sure.
He looks very unhealthy.
I think it was Steichen was holding his hand.
I mean, every DARE officer should just show that video and say, "Kids, this is what happens to you."
He just likes to party, John.
Yeah. Shout out to Jim Irsay while we're talking about him.
Former Dum Dum, but no longer Dum Dum. He's doing a great job.
I bet he's back on the wagon.
Owning that team well.
Yes, so you got Teebs.
Anyways, as far as the game, Patriots
allegedly
they're terrible. They're just terrible. Belichick, they're going to lose this game. He's going to get fired. He's going to stay in Germany. The Colts are winning this.
Fucking in Nantucket, dude.
The Colts are winning this.
Shirtless.
Colts are winning this easy, John. I'll take a -2.
Dude, he was in Nantucket. He walked out with the shirt.
I didn't see that. That was kind of weird.
Male performance, right?
I'm glad I didn't.
But they're losing this game. He's going to get fired. The reports are in that he's on the hot seat. They're going to be like, what, 2-7 after this?
Yeah.
Hey, remember when Josh McDaniels was supposed to take the Colts job, but then he just said that was such an awful organization. He'd rather go to Oakland or Las Vegas Raiders with the bowl cut owner.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, good thing we don't have him as a coach because he sucks and he just got fired himself.
Gone.
Oh no, Jeff Saturday would have taken over for him. Don't worry.
All right, getting us back on track here. So, last time Patriots were in Germany, it didn't go too well for. The Patriots did pretty well. That was in the 40s. Shout out, back-to-back World War champs.
More on that later. Foreshadowing.
Okay. Ooh. So, but we got a revenge game going on here. So Kenny Moore, ever heard of him? He had 2 pick sixes last week against the terrible Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. So,
Hey, no need for
Kenny Moore went undrafted. He was signed by the Patriots, and so he went through camp his rookie year with the Patriots. Had a pretty good camp, and then they cut him unexpectedly. It was big news. Then the Colts picked him up, and he's been for the shoe ever since. After those 2 pick sixes, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week. He these teams don't play very often, but Kenny Moore has 2 games against Mac Jones in his career, and he has 2 pass deflections. So some are saying he's due. So not only do I like the Colts -2, but look for a Kenny Moore interception again this week on his hot streak. So I'm for the shoe this week. Colts podcast.
Say it right. Say it right.
Yeah, like
Fart didn't shoe.
Like Teach said, Belichick's on thin ice. Although I do have to disagree with the getting fired after this game if we beat them, because I think he's done too much for the organization to get fired mid-season. So I think they have to wait till at the end of the year to fire him. But the Patriots are fucking terrible. I mean, we all know that. They're 2-7 against the spread. They're a hard team to bet against or bet on. We got our boy Zaire Franklin back at linebacker this week, who's leading the league in tackles. And this is a no-brainer for me. Colts -2. I'm hammer Colts -2.
We're gonna start the day off early with this game too, and the Colts get a win.
And I'm gonna be happy. I won't be depressed the rest of the day. It's gonna be a great day. Shout out to Teve's daughters, whose birthday that day. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna have a good day that day.
Go ahead, John. I'll bring up the rear.
Okay. This game's basically Hitler versus Patriots. So I got the Patriots.
All right. John's got Patriots plus the points.
Okay, so I'm sticking with my no notes, of course, in the NFL, and it's treating me darn well. I just want to preface that before I get into it. I was trying to think of the last 2 times that these teams played. If I remember correctly, we were watching in Teve's basement on Thursday night around Christmas time, and
I think it was a Saturday night, but yeah.
It was Saturday. I think I'm right. And the Patriots were outplaying the Colts like mad, and I bet on the Patriots, and the Patriots were turning the ball over a little bit, and then Jonathan Taylor ran like an 80-yard touchdown to win the game.
Good night.
However, the game that I remember these 2 playing before that was whenever Tom Brady beat Andrew Luck with a deflated football, and then the Colts lost but raised a banner that said AFC finalist. I believe that was these 2 teams. So anyways, long story short, the Patriots are horrible, like many have mentioned previously, and the Colts are pretty scrappy. Gardner Minshew's been relatively solid outside of that one game against, who was it, Jacksonville or somebody. He was absolutely horrible. Maybe it was 2 games he sucked, but anyways, he's been all right.
Been pretty
I'll probably bet on Jonathan Taylor to get yards again, but he probably won't. But anyways, the Colts will win the game. They have a great field goal kicker, Mr. Gay, so that's all you need. So I'm taking Schudenfrue or whatever the fucking German shit you're saying.
Yeah, you nailed it. Boyd, I was hoping to make your night with my Kenny Moore research.
You did. I loved it a lot.
Good.
Shout out to Kenny.
All right, next game, Houston at the Bengals. Bengals are getting 6.5. They've been a lot better lately, the Bengals, that is. I think Burrow's starting to figure it out a little bit. They're getting going. Like I said, they looked better. The Texans are good, though. They're kind of a scrappy little bunch, and CJ looks real nice lately. But I just think the Bengals at home, I think that gives them the extra push here, so I think they'll cover the 6.5.
Yeah, not many notes for this game. There's actually quite a few teams this week that don't play each other very often. This is another one of those matchups. I just think, the Bengals are hot, but the Texans have the firepower to stay in games. They showed last week they can keep up in a shootout. So I'll take the plus 6.5.
If they're in the AFC, they're the same conference, same way with the Colts and Patriots. Won't they play every other year, like at worst? Because you play your own division and then another division.
I think there were a few gaps, but I don't really consider that very often. I mean, that's once every 2 years.
I mean, they're not in the same division, but other than that, they play as much as they possibly could.
I remember them
Still-
playing in
Wouldn't
the
it be every
playoffs
3 years?
when it was like Deshaun versus Red Rocket. Like,
Because you got games against your division. You play each division team 2, and then each team plays one NFC division, and then I'm assuming you would play another AFC division.
And then you also get matched up with teams on the same rung. So if you won the division, you play the other division winners in your conference, and then second place plays the other second place teams, and so on. But anyways, we'll carry on.
yeah, like you guys said, the Bengals are hot. They've been hot lately. But T. Higgins is probably not going to suit up this weekend. They say he had a bad hamstring. He didn't practice at all. He showed up, but he didn't practice. Jamar finally practiced today. He's had a bad back after a bad fall last game, so he's up in the air as well. This line actually opened up at Bengals -9.5, and now it's -6.5. I bet today Houston Texans +6.5 because the T. Higgins injury report and the Jamar questionable, so it's probably gonna shoot down to like -2.5 Bengals probably. So hey, CJ Stroud is balling. That was my first choice who I wanted in the draft. But hey, we got A Rich. Shout out to A Rich. Get healthy, babe. But I'm going to Houston Texans +6.5 in this game.
My turn.
Yep.
Texans. Texans. I don't know. I like their colors more than the Bengals. I don't fucking know.
Okay, so the team in orange and black got hot about the same time as Oklahoma State did, so I'd be inclined to pick the Bengals. However, the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, the Texans could probably hang in. And then I heard this stuff that Boyd was talking about, these injuries to the receivers. So that has officially tipped the scales to me. I'm taking Houston in this game to cover. No notes needed.
I do want to bitch about CJ for a second. He's been great all season. 1 week I bet on him to have 2 touchdowns. He had 1, so fuck him.
Speaking of
every other game, he's thrown for 2.
I had T. Higgins to get a freaking anytime touchdown last week on Monday night, and he freaking had like 100 and some odd yards, and he fucking stepped his big toe out of bounds on that one play. And then he had another play where he almost scored, but anyways, I was pissed, but whatever.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Next game, the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are -6.5. The Ravens look real good, like Super Bowl good. But I feel like they've been kind of weird to bet on. Like anytime I think that they're going to like have a good game, so like against Detroit and I think 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was last week against Seattle, like I thought those would be good games, but the Ravens blew them out in both of those games. But then on the other hand, when they played or when they should blow out a team like the Colts, or they played the Cardinals 2 weeks ago, they should have blown them out. I think they won by like 6 in that one. They keep it close. So I think they should blow out the Browns, which makes me take the Browns because that means it's going to be a close game. So I'll take Browns 6.5, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Yeah, I was tracking. So, I mean, this is the great offense against a great defense. I mean, I think top 5 on both sides. Deshaun's back. They're getting a little bit of momentum. Little tidbit, Deshaun, last time he played the Ravens was in 2019, and he lost 41-7, was sacked 6 times, and had 1 interception. So maybe he's got a little juice going for this game. Yeah, it's going to be a division nasty battle, and it'd probably be within a field goal. So give me the Browns.
Yeah, both these teams, they don't like each other. Obviously, it's a division rival. 2 top 3 defenses going against each other. They're not going against each other, but they're facing each other, same team. But they faced earlier in October, and the Ravens smacked that ass 28-3. Lamar, who is the front runner of MVP right now, it had 4 tuds in that game. Of course, Deshaun Watson didn't play that game because he was hurt. But the Browns aren't that good on the road. They lost at Seattle and they lost at Pittsburgh. I'm going to ride with the MVP Lamar in this game, -6.5.
Not only did Deshaun not play in that game, but PJ Walker didn't play in that game. It was fucking Dorian, whatever the fuck his
Yeah,
name
the
is,
dude from
who
UCLA.
is barely a quarterback. So
Thompson Robinson.
Yeah. Ass.
DTR is what they call him.
So I hate Lamar and I hate Deshaun. But I hate Deshaun less. So I'm going with the Browns.
All right.
I'm going with the Browns as well. I just feel like they're scrappy. As we said, they're pretty good on defense, almost top 5 on defense, and then on offense they can put it together here and there and score some points as they did that one day in Indianapolis. I mean, they should have lost besides the referees, but anywho, I feel like Baltimore's been red hot and too red hot that I feel like they're due for a stinker to put them back down to earth. So Cleveland it is.
All right. Next game, Detroit -3 at the Chargers. I think this should be a good game. I don't really have much for this one. I do like Jared Goff going back to LA. I know it's not the same team, but same stadium going back to LA. So maybe he gets some revenge at his own old stomping grounds, and so I'll take Detroit -3.
Yeah, I don't have any notes for this game other than the Chargers continue to be just horrible to bet with. I think they did cover last week, but you just never know which team you're going to get. I think the Lions will come out on all cylinders and cover this easily. I think we get the down version of the Chargers. Maybe more Lions fans in attendance in this game. So give me the Lions.
As Shannon stated, the Chargers are very hard to bet on because they're just fucking hard to bet on. But the Lions have actually been pretty good on the road this year. They shut that narrative down of them being shit on the road, golf that is as well.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers had a good defensive game last week, but of course it was against fucking Zach Wilson, who we have to see on primetime again. Lions have their offensive line are healthy, very healthy now, and the Lions are top 5 offense against the bottom Chargers defense, passing that is, and I expect Jared Goff to go crazy. And like Steve said, he's returning back to LA, the stadium, and yeah, Lions -3 it is.
All that analytics stuff is fucking for nerds. Go Chargers. They're covering.
Oh man, we almost went to overtime in Chicago. Anywho, did you guys see Trey Young's points? But anyways, the Lions had a bye last week, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Chargers played on the road on Monday night, correct?
Was it the Jets?
Yeah.
So anyways, that might lead you to believe that the Lions are going to cover the spread, but I'm sorry to break the news to you, but they're not. Chargers may get into a little groove here. Khalil Mack, Bosa, I feel like are going to be chasing Jared around a little bit. And they're playing a home afternoon game. I'm just getting Chargers vibes from this game, so I'm taking them.
Boyd says they have a top passing offense with the Lions and a bad passing defense with the Chargers. So that probably means it's good day for Amon-Ra. So you'd hate to
it
be.
It is. That's why I'm starting Jared Goff this week.
It's like war in baseball. Doesn't mean anything.
And I meant to add, Herbert needs to do more here. He was shit on Monday against. I mean, it was a tough Jets defense, but Herbert's been pretty shit.
If a dude can hit bombs, he needs that's why you sign him.
Well, and they had the punt return, and they were running it, so he didn't need to do his thing. Plus, he knew that I was already won in fantasy, so he's saving it for this week.
Also, you sent that thing about here comes after that punt return, here come the trains about in our fantasy matchup. And then I was going to mention earlier with the Browns, to think that fucking Amari Cooper touchdown was what ended up losing. I think I lost by 3. So they were deflected off that dude's helmet and they just caught it in the end zone, just catching it like this.
Yeah.
That's what ended up getting me the loss.
Every time I lose in fantasy by a small margin like that, I always think back to remember when that one fucker stepped out of bounds, or remember when if this guy would have made this field goal, then that drives me nuts too. I freaking hate when I lose by that amount.
Well, and
So
Deshaun got the 4
I
points
feel your
on the
pain.
pass too on that. Like, come on. He threw up the guy's fucking helmet and he gets rewarded. Anyways.
Speaking of fantasy, you're probably pretty pissed off at Adam Thielen right now.
Yeah. Well, and I bet I'm stupid. I bet Bears halftime full time, but guess what? They were losing at halftime. Fuck.
Yeah, they're about to win.
Is it over? What's the final?
They're about to win now, 16-13. They just missed a field goal. Panthers, that is.
Bears back? Fields might be coming back soon. NFC North?
Well, and that's really good for the Bears, though, because don't the Bears own the Panthers pick?
Yes, they have both picks.
They're going to get Caleb Williams, which is I'm pissed about, but hey.
Yeah.
He's a bust. Caleb Williams. Did you not see him cry like a little bitch last week? He's a bust.
What are they going to do with Fields then? Trade him to the Colts?
Ship his ass.
He better learn Canadian.
They ship him for some picks or something. They're gonna ship. Williams is better than Fields.
What are they gonna do with Bajent?
Hey, get some more tats.
Moving on,
kid.
Yeah, we're going to the next game. Commanders at the Seahawks. The Seahawks are -6.5. I feel like both of these teams have been nightmares to bet this season. Are the Seahawks good? Or are they bad? Like, they can't make up their mind. I'm truly saying this, not just to get Cameron all happy, but I truly think they need to go to Drew Lock. Geno is not the answer. He's taken a massive step back this year. He's been very, very average. Like, what are they, 5-3? Like, your season's kind of already crumbling. Like, maybe Drew steps in and can get you some wins. Maybe he doesn't, and then you just get a better draft pick. But something's got to change there. Yeah, it's time for Drew. So I know that didn't really have anything to do with the pick, but I don't know. Like I said, they've both been kind of hard to bet, but I guess Seattle at home is kind of a tough place to play, so I'll take Seattle by a touchdown. We can say Geno plays a shitty first half, Drew comes in the second half and leads them to a victory.
I mean, that would be ideal. He would do it too, like he did that one time he came in leading that touchdown drive. But anywho.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, just a little fun tidbit here. Seattle is responsible for Washington's last 3 playoff eliminations. So that was in, it might be a little bit of a narrative like, oh, Washington's getting up for this game. Seattle's had their number, knocking them out of the playoffs. But that was in 2012, 2007, and 2005. So I did go back and look through, and there are 0 players on Washington's roster that played.
Was that whenever Robert Griffin buckled his knee?
Yes, buckled his knee.
I could have told you that without looking up. You wasted 20 minutes of your life doing that.
It's 11 years ago. They might have had a kicker or a punter on the squad, but
okay, yeah, like that makes a fucking difference.
But they didn't. So, John, the stats got to be stats. I'm just giving stats. All right, it's true stats.
Useless stats.
So anyway, yeah, that was the birth of Kirk Cousins, and Seattle's going to cover at home. They got an extra man, so just telling you they're going to cover.
Drew Lock's got an extra man in his pants, from what I hear.
So I'm already saying that.
It's actually a thoroughbred horse.
Sam Howell is hot. Geno is not. Although I don't agree with the rest of these yahoos with this Drew Lock shit. Shout out to Drew Lock for having a great college career. Thank you very much. But you're not a starting QB in the NFL league. Geno
based on what?
Geno led this team to the playoffs last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, he led to the playoffs last year. But hey, everybody has.
They were first in the division at the beginning of last week.
I believe they're like 6-3 right now. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah,
I think they're 5-3.
Okay, so I mean, I wish we were 6-3. But anywho, I expect this to be a bounce back game for the Hawks at home with, like you guys said, with 12 screaming. They have an extra man. DK is a lot healthier than he's been in the whole year. Fun fact: Washington is actually 7-1 against Seattle on the road in road regular season games. They're 7-1 against them. But I think Seattle's gonna bounce back this game and win at home. Seattle -6.5 it is.
Go Hawks.
Seattle -6.5. I gotta go grab a computer charger. I'll be right back.
Okay. Take your time.
So Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Gardner Minshew, Will Levis, Aiden O'Connell,
Sounds
Russell
like
fucking
this is an
Wilson,
elite list, whatever it is.
Sam Howell, Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor, Donnie DeVito, or whatever the fuck his name is,
Tommy.
Jaron Hall from Minnesota,
BYU.
Bajent, fucking Jordan Love, Ritter, Baker,
Ritter doesn't start.
Bryce Young. Who's the fucker who played for the Rams last week?
Rippin'.
Yeah. And then
What's the punchline?
Clayton Tune. These are all people who started in the NFL, but Drew Lock's not a starter in this league.
My God.
No,
Are you fucking kidding me?
Where that was going?
He had
Those
Drew
are
Lock
all
has had
backups.
Drew Lock has had his chance and he failed. So sorry.
All those people are playing, but he's not.
Hey, he had his
Yeah,
chance.
Those are.
He had his
Get the fuck
chance.
outta here.
He
He
didn't
had
have
his
a
chance.
chance. He got
Are any
traded.
of those other guys going to ever go 5-2 in a 7-game span?
He
I
had
don't
his
think so.
chance.
Gardner.
It didn't work out.
He didn't have
Time
a
to move
chance.
on.
He got traded.
But he was a starter at one point in his career, and he had his chance. He had it right there. And
Oh, because he was on the Broncos, and the Broncos were a quarterback away, right? Right? The quarterback, they just need a quarterback, right? So they got Russell Wilson, and guess what? They still fucking suck because their team
you're
sucks.
talking to the wrong
They can't
guy.
coach shit. None of that shit.
You're
That's
talking
why
to the
they
wrong
suck.
guy. You got to talk to John Lynch about that. I mean, hey, I don't know anything about all that, but I know he had his chance at starting and he failed. It's time to move on.
Because he's on the fucking shitty Broncos.
You could say the same for Geno. He's had his chance of starting this season. He's failing. Time to move on.
And
You
look what
have to
happened.
admit
He
Geno's
let him
been
in his,
bad
in
this
his
year.
first time starting after not starting for a while. What happened? He went to the playoffs, baby.
But that was last year. This is this year. He's been bad this year.
Just stating the fact, babe.
If I'm Pete
Stating
Carroll,
fact.
Matty Mock's not out of the question.
Anyways,
With that
so
one-
so
Oh,
my
you're-
pick. So
Yeah, he hasn't picked yet.
Oh, he was doing all
He
those
just listed
quarterbacks.
12
My bad.
quarterbacks.
Seattle's not good as aforementioned, but I don't buy Washington either. And everyone's talking shit on Geno, rightfully so. And this is gonna be one of those games where like, man, Geno fucking sucks. And he actually turns in a pretty decent game, and they'll probably win this game by 7. So I'm picking Seattle. So I hope he sucks ass and breaks his fucking ankle in 12 pieces. But hopefully that happens. But if not, I'm taking Seattle. But
Hey, with me all saying that, I picked the wrong side. I actually wrote down Washington +6.5, so that's what it is.
Too late. Hand off the chess piece. Too late.
That's what I wrote down. I meant to say that after I said my 7-1 stat on the road. So
I don't know. You made a pretty good argument for Seattle.
Yeah, so it's Washington +6.5. I fucked up because he's talking about that Drew Lock shit. Washington +6.5 it is from Boyd Sosa.
All right.
Okay.
You're going to
All right,
regret
next
that.
up, Sunday Night
Right here in my
Football.
notes.
New York Jets -1 at the Las Vegas Raiders. Boyd already kind of mentioned it earlier. Like, we got the Jets on primetime again. I might have to write a song for this one too.
Teams loves New York teams on prime time.
It's just like, come
Loves
on.
them.
Like, shame on the NFL for not flexing this out. Like, come on. I mean, they have the power to do that. Exercise it. Anyways, as far as the game, I think Max Crosby, he's going to terrorize Zach Wilson all night, and the Raiders are going to win this game outright. Also, real quick on Max Crosby, did you guys see that he almost said it? Or
Yeah.
Yes.
did say it?
Yeah,
He wanted to say
you almost said it.
Yeah.
Ooh, Max.
I missed it. I'm gonna have to search it on
And,
X.
and he was.
Yeah, I'm
and he
sure
was-
it's still
and
there.
He was getting interviewed. And he was smoking a fucking blunt. Savage.
I do
So-
like him. He's fun. He's a
Jeez,
good
I'm
ball
glad you
player.
brought up. I'm glad you brought up Max.
He's a Maxian player, baby. I can listen a lot of great Maxian players, but continue.
I'm glad you brought up Mad Max because I think if he doesn't win it, I think he deserves to win the Defensive Player of the Year thus far in the season. He's leads the league in tackles for loss, and he's just a half a sack behind the sack lead, and he plays 100% of snaps, which no other defensive ends do. I mean, he's just an animal, and he shows up in prime time. Just some primetime notes. I believe like the last 10 or 11 Sunday night and Monday Night Football games have gone under. So that's either a trend or it's due for the over. You guys can choose, but I think this is one of those games that's going to go under. Something gross like 13-10, and I think it's going to be Raiders win. Go ahead and take a money line, and get a little bit of extra money because, Zach Wilson, like Teeb said, Max Crosby is going to be living rent free in his head for the entire evening.
He's gonna be like that other Jets quarterback, Darnold, back in the day. And like, I'm
yeah, he's
ghosts
seeing
out here.
ghosts.
Well, as Shannon stated, Max Crosby is a fucking beast. He's leading the league in most pressures and QB hits. I mean, as he said, right now he deserves Defensive Player of the Year. Even though I bet on Myles Garrett to win Defensive Player of the Year, but as of right now,
Which he
Max
might.
Crosby deserves it for sure. But Jets offense fucking stinks. Their defense is really good though, going against a rookie QB and Aiden O'Connell. I think the Raiders rookie might struggle against this Jets deep, but I expect him to squeak it out a little bit and get Devontae Adams back on tack this weekend because Devontae Adams hasn't been doing anything. The Raiders D is also terrible, and I expect Breece Hall to have a really big game this weekend. The Jets' offensive line has allowed 8 sacks last weekend, and Max Crosby is going to make Zach Wilson see ghosts, as Steve stated. Well, because the Raiders also had 8 sacks against the Giants last weekend, so Zach Wilson's not going to have no time to throw the ball down the field. Fucking Garrett Wilson is going to throw temper tantrums on the sideline. Raiders +1 it is, and like Shannon said, you can fucking do money line as well because I'm the wrong side's favorite here, as Sneeze would say. So yeah. Raiders +1 it is.
Garrett Wilson's no diva. He won't be throwing tantrums. He's a well-behaved guy.
He was last game.
I hope I don't hear fucking Matt Crosby's fucking name for the rest of the night. Fuck his tattoos. I got Jets -1.
Okay. Well, tough to follow that up, but unless I didn't hear it, but I'm ashamed in our podcast that we failed to mention the biggest factor in this game, and that is that the Raiders are still riding the high of the interim coach. I believe I mentioned it last week. Obviously, it's clear that the Raiders have a little spark from their interim, Mr. Pierce, I believe is his name.
Antonio Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Antonio
he's
Pierce
got the boys fired up. The Raiders are feeling themselves a little bit. They got a little bit of their swagger back.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
I'm not sure if it's going to be swagger for the rest of the year because eventually them sucking will factor back into play. But for now, they're still riding the high of the interim coach, and that will be plenty to clear the Jets. So Raiders it is.
My theory on interim coach, just quickly, is it's a 1-game high usually. So I really like when I saw this game, I thought I was going to be on the side of the Jets, but after Monday Night Football, there's just not enough to take the Jets in this. Usually the second game after interim coach is a letdown, but not this game.
And just hearing him talk about his players, and he's like the first coach. I don't think he's the first coach ever, but the first coach I ever heard of letting the practice players come on the field and be with the team.
Yeah, I saw that video.
That's nice. That's lovely. That's the coach you want to play for right there. Let everybody come.
During the game?
Yeah, during the game, the practice players were on the sidelines. That's dope.
Bullshit. Everyone.
John, that's how we would do it with our little Tigers. We're letting the practice people on the field. They got to learn.
No.
John, that's the only reason why they let you on the field in 7th grade, dude.
I was MVP, brother. That's the year I peaked.
Oh, shit. All right, last game. Monday Night Football. Broncos at the Bills. Bills are -7.5. This is also a gross primetime game. It's just, ugh. The Broncos are terrible, and the Bills have been kind of underwhelming this year. But this is a game where Russ, he's going to be awful. He's going to have 106 passing yards with no touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and the Bills are going to cruise to a 10+ point win easy. So I'll take the Bills -7.5. He's due for one of those games, and we're going to get it this week.
Yeah, the Bills have just been so bad, particularly on defense. I mean, something's wrong, and hopefully they've figured it out. I think it is in Buffalo, which is tough, but I think Broncos off a bye can probably backdoor cover this. Since it's 7.5, I'll take the Broncos.
As Shannon stated, the Bills' defense has been very terrible, particularly in the last 4 weeks. They've lost some star power in Tre'Davion White at cornerback. And another linebacker I can't think of right now, but they've been slacking hard. But they do have Von Miller. Miller's facing his old squad in the Broncos, so I think it's going to hit home for him, and he's going to go off. Both these teams are terrible against the spread. The Broncos are 2-5-1 against the spread, and the Bills are 3-5 against the spread. They're both at the bottom tier of against the spread, but the Bills are undefeated at home, so I'm gonna rock with the Bills Mafia -7.5.
I think Russ Wilson might be Broussard's first cousin. For that, I'm taking the Bills.
Oh no!
That was good, John. I like that.
Thank you.
Some are saying that.
You're on mute.
Yeah, so sorry about that. I was eating a Snickers.
Yeah,
so I think Casey read the tea leaves spot on here with this game. I think it is a stinker game for Russell Wilson. It's gonna be one of those games where he's fucking 10 for 19 with 45 yards and an interception and 5 sacks. The Bills are a different club at home. It's starting to get some wintry mix in the weather there in Buffalo. That does make my butthole a little bit tight that it is 7.5, but I will take the Bills anyways.
I saw the weather for this. It's going to be like 45 degrees. That's warm.
I mean,
borderline warm in Buffalo.
Denver and Buffalo have the same weather, so
yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the locks. Boyd has the Niners at the Jags. Niners -2.5. This is all, by the way.
Yeah, this is all, the original line is 3, which I'm in awe about. But I can see why it is 3 because the Niners are on a 3-game losing streak and the Jags are on a 5-game winning streak. Fuck the Jags, first of all. Like, just fuck them. Like, they think they're all hot shit because they're on a 5-game win streak. They're not worth shit. Niners just picked up a star pass rusher in Chase Young to add to the star power on the Niners defense, or in star fucking power everywhere on the Niners. Debo is back this week. All-star Trent Williams is he's on pace to play this week. Niners have a #1 defense against the pass, which Trevor likes to do. Trevor is going to be running for his fucking whatever this fucking game. He's going to be running wild with his long-ass fucking Georgia jungle hair. And fucking this is easy. -2.5 Niners. I expect them to get back on track here.
It's a little juicy.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this, to be honest. I don't like to knock locks, but I feel like the travel might play into this a little bit more, so I don't know. I feel like Jags might just win this outright. That's just me.
Debo's back. They got their boy back. Sneeze likes that. So
Debo sucks. Debo sucks. He hasn't been good in 2.5 years.
He spreads the offense open whenever he's playing. When he's not playing, so we're going to throw to Kittle or C-Mac or Brandon Ayuk, whatever.
As soon as McCaffrey came into town, Debo's stock went down, down, down. Anyways.
Yeah, okay.
We'll move on. Connor, Colts at Patriots, taking the under.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up travel, Teebs, because and I didn't bring it up in the pick segment because I knew we'd be talking about it here. But both teams leaving on Thursday this week, which we know is no bueno. Traveling over to Europe, it gives you a day and a half to get ready for a game. That's not enough with the jet lag. I know a lot of people out there are saying picking an under with the Colts playing. Colts are over Kings, but both these teams are bad. And sorry, Boyd, but backup quarterback.
We're average. We're not bad.
Bad? What the
Don't
fuck?
say we, Casey. You've been a fan for like 2 months.
We're not bad. We're not bad.
We scored 20 points in every game, but we're bad. Sheesh.
Okay. How about this? The defense is.
Yeah, Defense
Now
is
we're
bad.
talking.
Defenses are
Defense
good.
is bad.
Now we're talking.
No, because the defense scores your points last week. I mean, there were
offense
four
was
touchdowns.
bad last week, but hey, 20.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to be sleepy. Both teams are going to be sleepy. Like I said, Kenny Moore's going to have a pick.
John?
That's going to take points off the board and safely under. First
They're
half
gonna be way
might
down by.
3-0.
They're gonna get there, drink all that wheat beer, and be really sloggy and slow and worn out.
Yeah, I believe the Chiefs left on Thursday for last week for their game, and they scored 21 in the first half and nothing in the second. So yeah, I mean that's smart.
Yep.
All right, John. Commanders at Seahawks. Seahawks -6.
Gino's elite. And Coach Pete, he's a Hall of Famer. And that's
Did
all
he
I
pick
got.
Washington in the segment?
No, I
He might
picked.
have.
No, I picked
No,
the
he picked
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
We'll watch
Rewind the tape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll watch.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that.
I should have done that. That would have been a good fit.
Maybe next time.
Oh, trust
right.
me, this is the last time I'm doing this shit.
That Natty looks good though.
All right, Sneeze, you got 2 for again.
All right, so
I'll let you look at it.
I was looking at this and just playing it out in my head, and there's no possible way on earth that Jordan Love shows up at whatever the fucking field is, Heinz Field now, that he comes out with a win against Pittsburgh. He's going to look like a freaking dweeb trying to run from that TJ Watt. And there's no way in hell the Packers are going to come close in that game. So
TJ
2.5.
Watt's too busy doing fucking Subway commercials. Subway is the fucking shittiest food known to man. I can't
And-
trust a guy that
DJ
peddles
Watt
that
has
bullshit.
9.5 sacks, dude.
I'd
And
rather see him peddle boner pills than
Will
Subway.
Will Levis can sling it a little bit, okay, and he's got Derrick Henry, who a lot of people have pronounced dead, but he's definitely not dead. And like I said, Will Levis, and you guys were all watching the same screen as me last week. The Buccaneers were allergic to pass coverage in that game whatsoever. So there'll be some room for Will Levis to throw to D-Hop and Westbrook Akine, and they will easily score 19.5. So I couldn't leave either one of these two out of the locks because both of them are locks. So together they are a lock. So plus 213. My college play was also plus 200. So just ring that freaking cash register all weekend long. So lock it in.
Yeah, I'm doing the same game here. Packers Steelers. Steelers -3. I had this before Cameron sent me his stuff in, but I mean it's different, so we're gonna count it. But yeah, I mean all the same things he just said. Sorry, John, but Green Bay stinks. Jordan Love's horrible. Like he said, TJ is gonna be after him all day. So I don't know. Is there something Vegas knows we don't? Back to the college stuff. I mean, I'm taking this bait again. The Steelers should cover this easy.
I agree.
Okay, it's time for 2 minutes for cashing.
Okay, this better not take more than 2 minutes.
Hey, we can make that a rule, yeah. It'll go quick. Okay, so there's my NHL picks for the week. First game on Friday, 11:10. We got the Sharks at the Golden Knights, and play is Golden Knights -1.5. This may even be released by now. I don't know. I don't even know if that's correct or not. But anyways, no explanation needed for this one. Next game, Saturday, 11:11. It's the Blues at the Avalanche.
Shout out veterans.
Yeah, shout out veterans. Shout out the Twins. It's their birthday.
Shout out my mom.
The play here is Colorado money line. Shout out to Kayla's mom too. Or my mother-in-law. That's her birthday as well. Anyways, Avs are undefeated at home so far this season. I think they maybe played tonight, so that could be incorrect now. But before tonight, they were 4-0-0 at home, so undefeated. And the Blues have been pretty bad on the road, 1-3-1. So I think that continues. Colorado should win this straight up. And then lastly, on Sunday, Blue Jackets at the Rangers, with the Rangers winning by 2 goals. Same sort of thing as the Blues. The Blue Jackets have been bad on the road, same record, 1-3-1. And the Rangers have started off pretty hot, 9-2-1 overall, and are 3-1 at home. So I like them to win by 2.
Avs and Kraken tied up 3-3 at 5 minutes left. Just to update.
The Avs, you said?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who are they playing? I don't even know.
Kraken.
Oh, that's not a great team. Anyways, another one of my favorites to track, Fade the Sharks.
That's been very profitable.
Looking at month of November here. I put a little thing up in the top left. You can see by the month. So October was 9-0. If you bet against the Sharks, you were 9-0, up $900 if you played whatever to win 100. This year or this month we're 2-1 so far. I'm sure they're probably in the middle of the first period right now for tonight's game, but you're up $2 still this month. So overall 11-1, up $902. Myself, I don't do every game because like I had a feeling they were going to lose or win, I guess, on Tuesday against the Flyers because the Flyers suck as well. So I stayed away from it. So I've only done this 4 times and have won all 4. So 4-0, up 400, not a big deal. But
you
some of these
500 on Friday night.
Yeah, I was just about to say some of these coming up. Like, I mean, Vegas is maybe the best team in the league, and Sharks are obviously the worst team in the league. So that 500 is good, but I don't know. I mean, they're going to win the game, but do I have the balls to lay $500? I don't know. And
the puck line is 2.5.
I'll probably drop it. Yeah, fuck it. Anyways, we'll keep this going. All right, new segment this week. Let it go here.
Whoa.
Cash.
It's shoot or shoot with Sosa, but we didn't get any picks in from Sosa this week, so we got a sub in, and we're gonna bring in the sub, and we're gonna do it with Johnny Anderson.
Oh boy!
So we're
Steal
gonna
the show, my guy.
Get some of John's NBA picks for the season. So first pick.
John, you're still in a WNBA. I don't know if you can pick the NBA, can you?
Yes, I can. Over 2.5 players missed time due to mental health reasons. These guys are the biggest pussies known to man. If Larry Bird was still in the league, half of them would quit. Next one.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know if LeBron can even read. I bet he's like that guy from Coach Carter Jr., whatever his last name is.
Cruz?
Yeah.
No, never mind.
That's Timo Cruz.
Remember the scene where he's reading the newspaper and he can't read it? Well, that's LeBron, probably.
That's Junior Battle.
Junior Battle. Well, luckily LeBron didn't graduate from I Promise School because Lord knows he wouldn't be able to read if he did that. Next one. I figure there's at least around 500.
Did you come up with these on your own? These are brilliant.
Yeah.
It took him all 2 minutes to send me this message after Boyd said he's not going to send anything.
I feel like there's some sickos, about 450 sickos out there that actually care about this stupid in-season tournament. Not even the fucking players care about it. It's stupid. Next one. He's built like an alien. He's bound to tear like a muscle in his legs. Next one.
All right. This is my favorite one, by the way.
Yeah.
Just needs to stay away from Harden. He's a bad influence. Also, Des Moines needs to stay away from LeBum. And I think that's the last one. I might have one more.
Des Moines got one more last night. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, Des Moines? Yeah. He hit a jumper.
Yeah.
Little mid-ranger.
Yeah. All right, last one.
Oh, yeah. I'm not watching the game all season. I probably won't watch any of the playoffs either.
What are the odds on the last one there? Minus 10,000?
Yeah.
All right, that was good. I enjoyed those.
Hey, we'll have some picks next week.
Yeah, Boyd, send your shit
from
next
Boyd
week.
Sosa.
You're welcome, Boyd.
Fuck you, John.
All right, dum-dums. Got a new one this week.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and we'll touch on it here. First one.
Yeah, poor Gary. I didn't want to do it last week or 2 weeks ago, but he's just done it to himself. You know, he
Does Gary even know what a podcast is?
No.
He could have had, Boyd, what was it? He could have had Goff and who else
Zach
for Lamar?
Moss.
No. There was a better deal than that. Anyway, there were several trades thrown out there that Gary could have taken. We got a little peek into what Gary thinks is a fair trade when he said, what was it, Mike Evans for Lamar?
Mike Evans and Alvin Kamara for Lamar, just Lamar.
Yeah. So, Gary's never really been the trading kind. And
except when he trades to Cameron, just gives him his team.
Yeah. And then inexplicably, he picked up Derek Carr last week when he already had 2 quarterbacks on the roster. And then he, Hillsman gets him with a classic sell high, buy low with Gus Edwards and Tua. So
I honestly don't think it's as bad as trade as you guys are making it out to be. It's Tua's already on the downslide, and he got a couple running backs he can slide in that are better than who he had before, and then he has a tight end that his tight end's out for a couple weeks, so at least he can slide him in. I mean, is it a great trade? No, it's not a great haul, but look, Deonta Foreman got 16.6 points. Who else would he have put in if he didn't have that? He would have put in freaking Joshua Kelly. I think that's a pretty good trade for Gary. So
I mean, I didn't think it was a bad trade. It helps out Gary. I was just pissed that Hillsman got, even though I didn't want to. I wanted Lamar.
And then Hillsman's got Deshaun, which he's not great either. But I mean, on the average, what is Tua going to get him? Maybe 2 extra points a week on the average over what Deshaun's going to get. It's not that bad of a trade at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's not.
I was going to give him
it was more about the
Damian Pierce for Tua, and he shot that down for fucking Deonta Foreman.
It's more about his evaluation of players, but I didn't want to spend too much. I didn't think Gary actually would be the first one here, but since he's here, we talked about it.
Okay, next one.
Devonta Smith. So I'm gonna share my screen here. Did we leave one out then, Teebs?
Do I need to? No, I thought the last one was King. Did you want to do the?
It's okay.
You can talk about it if we need.
Yeah, I might just mention it briefly.
The last one, the other player you gave me is King.
Okay. So I'll just go ahead and play it here. They want to do an alley-oop LeBron celebration.
I did see that.
And it was just brutal. Here it is. Just terrible. Now,
I mean, that was a bad pass.
Look at this pass, though.
That's why he's the dum-dum, because he's the one who passed it. But anyway, I guarantee 100% that was Devonta Smith's idea. I have no doubt in my mind. Why do that celebration? Number one, the reason Brown didn't dunk it is because it's illegal to dunk on the posts. So why are we doing that celebration anyway if you can't even dunk? I guarantee you it was Devonta Smith's idea. He threw a terrible alley-oop, and it didn't look anything like the LeBron D Wade photo. And why are you two comparing yourself to LeBron and D Wade? Get the fuck out of here. So
we just established LeBum can't even read.
Yeah, and I bet if
do you think Devonta Smith can
school, at least one kid would be able to pass a math test.
And AJ Brown went to Ole Miss.
Yeah, but I mean,
so did Ben Mintz, didn't he? He's a genius.
We're not grading on intelligence.
LeBron didn't even go to college, probably because he couldn't get in.
That's true.
Just saying.
So before I get to my king dum-dums, my third dum-dum is pylon divers. So we had a couple examples this week of this happening, and it's not really dum-dum. Like, they're not doing it on purpose. They're running super hard, but I swear, guys trying to get to the edge or running down the sideline and they try to dive for the pylon, it's like 90% of the time they step out of bounds at the 3-yard line when they're doing their dive by half an inch. And it's like, they make it. Like, they hit the pylon, they call a touchdown, and they go back, they look, and they're like, oh, he was out of bounds. And it lost the Cowboys the game this week.
The fucker from the Chargers on the defense, I could have got another pick, fumble 6. I could have won my fantasy game.
And T. Higgins
we're at the 3 and stepped out of bounds.
I swear to God, it happens 90% of the time where they hit the pylon. They do a fantastic dive. They time it perfectly, but they're a half yard or a half inch on the big white line. Just don't step out of bounds.
Yeah, it fucking happened in Louisiana Lafayette games tonight. It fucked me.
Yeah. So there's just a group, a PSA. Just keep your feet inside of that white line. Last one.
Okay, King.
Yeah, so here's King. Teebs touched on it, and I'll play a clip here in a second. So I went 7-0 on my picks last week. I also I did send them in text messages, but I got my lock from 2 weeks ago when we did the picks, and then I sent 2 locks this past week, hit them both. One of them was the Raiders -2.5 with the interim coach bump. They smashed the Giants. The other one was Mac Jones over 215.5 passing yards. Washington lost both of their star DNs, and Mac Jones covered. Now, I was coming off of that 7-0. I was like, and the reason all those hit is because I didn't have money on any of those games. Didn't put money on any of them. That's why they all hit. And so coming into this week, I was like, well, I'll just parlay those 2 locks, Mac Jones and the Raiders. I got a little bonus bet. So I was like, okay, I'll just parlay those together. I got a bonus bet. The line for Mac Jones had moved to 222.5 yards. But I was like, it's fine. I think Mac Jones is going to have a good game. I actually think Mac Jones is a good passer when he has time, which is pretty rare. Let me show you a little clip from the Patriots game. Jalen Reagor. So he's a first-round draft pick, but he's unable to do what he's paid to do, which is catch the football. He's been on, I think, 3 different teams, maybe 4.
I didn't even know he's on the Patriots.
Yeah. So he's on the Patriots. He probably plays like 15% of snaps. And this is a nice, it doesn't show the full play, unfortunately, but this is a nice 50-yard rainbow from Mac Jones. And here's Jalen Reagor. Just right through his hands.
And that fucked my -3.
And just if you're wondering, I said he covered the 215.5. I said I got him at 222.5. And so he finished with 220 passing yards. So fuck you, Jalen Reagor. You're a dum-dum.
King Dum-Dum.
Yeah, King Dum-Dum. Congratulations.
Well, you had it the other way. Is that who the King Dum-Dum is?
No, that's right. That's correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last segment, power rankings. This week we have movies.
You're on mute, Sneeze.
Yeah, I know. For some reason, as soon as Connor went to share a screen, I got like kicked out of the meeting or something.
Oh shit. Well, it was Jalen Reagor dropping a pass that was right through his hands for 50 yards.
Yeah, I figured
would have easily covered me. Mac
he
Jones
can go back
yards.
and watch it. He can go back and watch it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play
it on there.
And now he's
all right,
frozen, so
we're gonna kick it off with
these
Boyd.
movies.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear Cameron's thoughts. And John,
Cameron, did you send a list, or are you just watching?
No, I sent a list. I ended up coming up with 5 that I kind of think are okay.
It is something.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
All right, Boyd's number 5.
Oh my god.
Good one, Troy.
What in the
Well,
fuck?
first, I would like to give a shout out. This is a very tough choice. I have a long list of movies right here on my notes, but this is very tough to come down with 5. But first, I want to give a big shout out to Saving Private Ryan, who almost made number 5. Saving Private Ryan is a great movie, but I had to go with Troy
over Saving Private Ryan. You're Broussard.
That's why it's called, Boyd's movie power rankings, because I get to choose here.
That is why.
But Troy, this movie is all about honor. Detroit. It's basically it's an assault on Troy from the Greek forces. One of the Prince of Troy stole one of the Greek forces' girl. And she's a baddie. If you watch the movie, she's a baddie.
She's a baddie. There's boobies in this movie, so Sneeze, if you needed a little incentive, there's some boobies.
Yes, and yeah, he
Google's
ended
got
up
him
whamming.
too.
He ended up whamming and everything. She's fucking gorgeous. But the Greek guy, he's asking like, "Oh, where's she at? Where's she at? Oh, she's with the Prince of Troy."
We don't need the damn play-by-play. Just tell us why you like it.
Tell us why you love it.
This is why I
got him, and I don't have to wait 2.5 hours watching this bullshit either.
It's a long movie, but Brad Pitt's a hell of a guy. He's named Achilles in this movie, and we all know about Achilles. He ended up at the end of the movie.
They don't last.
What?
Spoiler.
Don't
Is
last.
very abusive to Angelina Jolie. Great
This
guy, you
is
said.
a
Maybe
great.
he should play for the Colts.
It's just a great movie about war. I love watching war movies, and this is just a great one. That's why I said, Saving Private Ryan. I love it. That's a great war movie as well. But I have to go with Troy. I love this movie.
Good pick, boy. That's a good film.
Okay, number 4 is baffling to me.
It's fucking hilarious. This movie gets me so fucking weak. I watched this movie on Sunday night after football, and I was cracking up laughing. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is whenever
Cameron left.
you gotta admit him.
He's having issues. I don't know what's going on. Continue, Boyd.
One of my favorite scenes in this movie is when Doofus is at the police station, and the police officer says, "Hey, smell my fingers." He's like, "Oh, what's that smell?" He's like, "Oh, that's how you smell when you become a man." And then Doofus said, he's like, "Hey, smell my fingers." He's like, "Oh man, what's that smell?" He's like, "My ass."
I also like the
But this movie is not scary at all. It's fucking hilarious.
no shit, Boyd.
It gets me so fucking weak, and it's the funniest movie I ever seen.
Oh, that's great.
Cameron, have you seen that one?
No.
Cameron, you need to watch Scary Movie.
I don't think I've seen it all the way through
it's
ever.
fucking hilarious.
It's been a long time.
Maybe we can have a movie night. Me and you, Sneeze, will watch a scary movie.
We get weak. I want to be there.
Okay, number 3.
This is a classic right here, Scarface. Classic 80s movie. It's a Cuban immigrant named Tony Montana. Tony Tony Montana, he takes over a drug cartel and he becomes a little greedy. He ends up, money becomes everything. It's a lot of rappers use this, which is like the world is mine. And, that's what was in his mansion as he bought his mansion, got all his fucking money and shit. But he screwed over a guy, why they call me this guy's name, Sosa. My name Sosa came from this movie. Sosa is the guy that Tony Montana was working with, and Sosa kept telling him, don't fuck him over, don't play with my money, blah, blah, blah. And Scarface said, "Fuck you, man, I'm Tony Montana." And he ended up fucking him over, and Sosa sent his guards to his mansion. They ended up fucking killing him, and
spoilers, goddamn.
Yeah, no, I don't need to watch these movies. I'll just listen to Boyd's storytelling.
Okay, number 2.
American Gangster. Denzel Washington, one of my favorite actors is in this movie, as you see him pictured right there. It's basically the guy on the right. I can't think of his fucking name. You guys know his name. What's his name?
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. He was played an undercover in not North Carolina, in New York City cop, which is bringing down a Harlem drug lord and Frank Lucas, who Denzel worked for. And it's basically a bunch of drug shit. And he ended up.
Denzel Frank Lucas?
No, he wasn't Frank Lucas. Actually, he was Frank Lucas. Anyways.
Well, Cameron can watch it and tell us.
Yes. But it's basically another drug cartel movie that's very intriguing, and I love it.
I will say my least favorite movie theme is drugs. So I'm not looking forward to watching this at all. I don't know if I'll ever get there.
Oh, you'll love Scarface, though.
Yeah, that's the whole movie is drugs. Okay, the number 1 movie in Boyd's movie power rankings. This is his favorite movie of all time, apparently.
I mean, this is just a great movie.
That's a great movie.
It is a good movie, but number 1 is a little...
It's just a great movie. I like to consider myself as Batman. I'm not Robin to anyone. I'm I'm Batman. This was by far the best Batman movie ever made. Just like the graphics.
I prefer the George Clooney one.
The graphics, the acting,
that one
everything was great. Joker, shout out to Heath Ledger, rest in peace. He played a great scene in this movie.
Hey, what's your opinion on his acting in Brokeback Mountain?
Never seen it. But anyways, yes, Batman it is. It's my favorite movie of all time. And yeah.
Have you seen this one, Cameron?
I seen it years ago. I knew Heath Ledger played the Joker because he like killed himself afterwards or whatever. Could I tell you any semblance of the plot? No. Can I remember any other actors? No. Do I remember anything about it? No. But I watched it, and it was an hour and a half or 2 hours. I probably would rather do something else. But
I mean, I don't even know if I could describe the plot. I mean, the Joker just causes chaos and Batman stops it. That's the plot.
If you're gonna watch one out of the 5, that's gonna be the one.
Yeah, this is the best one. Yeah.
He said, "My smile. My father always wanted me to smile."
I didn't prepare
He
any
did say
quotes for my movies.
Also, one other thing. The Scary Movie poster says "No Mercy, No Shame, No Sequel." That's just a damn lie. There's been like 5
There's
scary
like
movies.
7 of these things.
I fucking love Scary Movie.
At
We
the
need to
time, they
seriously
didn't,
watch
though.
that. If we watch Scary Movie, we would be fucking rolling.
It is funny. Good list, boy.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Connor. Kicking it off with number 5.
These are movies like a couple of movies that I've known about for years and had zero desire to watch for the last 18 years. And it's
I will say this
movie.
is the worst pick
Nowhere
out of
near
all
great
20
movie,
movies.
but
we
it's a
have
fun
here.
movie.
25.
This movie is great. I don't know what you got. It's funny because it's Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a little goofy. It's Johnny Depp, but like it's on like it's in top 15 highest grossing of all time. It's a very popular movie. So saying that it's a terrible pick is just silly. But it's like it's got everything I like in a movie. It's got action, it's got comedy, it's got mystery, it's a good story, it's got Keira Knightley. Johnny Depp is fucking hilarious in this movie. The rest of the Pirates movies kind of suck, but this one is elite. No 8. So you get laughing, go watch it again because I guarantee you'll enjoy it. It's a worthwhile. Yeah, go watch it. It's a worthwhile watch.
I probably haven't seen it since what did it probably come out in like 2004? Probably haven't seen it since then.
It holds up. It's great. You probably didn't like it when you were fucking 7 years old.
No, I remember it. It was good. It's good. It's a fine movie. It's not a good movie. It's a fine movie, but
it's a good movie.
Not top 5 all time.
Hey, we got 5 minutes left in the meeting. I don't know.
It'll keep running. Don't worry.
Thanks, John.
Okay, number 4.
Yeah, number 4. Boyd shouted out Saving Private Ryan. It's the best war movie, conflict, whatever you want to call it. It's got a great story, elite actors, Tom Hanks. Maybe besides Woody, Tom Hanks' best character that he's ever played.
Cameron might have an argument on that later.
Yeah.
Okay. You got Matt Damon.
Yeah, like I said, elite actors. You fall in love with each guy there. So it's another long one. These are all long, I think. Yep. So Cameron, sorry about that, but if you pick one war movie to watch out of all of them, I would recommend Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Great
Inception. One. It's another long one. My favorite actor is Leonardo DiCaprio. He's the GOAT. And, I'll argue that with you as much as you want.
All right, let's argue.
Let's do it offline.
Denzel, dude.
Denzel's top 3, I'd say. I love Denzel, but Leo's a GOAT. This movie's great. It's a mind bender. You kind of got to pay attention. So that's not for everybody, but I love that. It's another long one. But yeah, not much more to say than that. I won't do any spoilers in case no one's seen it.
Yeah, at the end of these, or at least when each person's go, we need to have Cameron say if he's seen the movies or not, and then if he plans on to watch them. I guess we could do it on the page to show everybody.
He's seen one of mine, but he's not going to watch a new one.
He's not watching shit. A scary movie.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2.
Great. So one. He's seen this. I could argue with myself that I liked Hangover more, but Superbad at the time, it was just it matched up perfectly. Like at that time in life, it was just like that coming of age story. It was like it revolutionized comedy films. It was the first movie probably where I could quote every line. And that's all we did for fucking like 3 years was just quote every line from that movie. So yeah, it almost took the top spot, to be honest, because I'm a big comedy fan. But Superbad number 2.
I am Nick
Great
Levin.
movie. Great movie. Good cast in that one too.
Yeah, great cast.
Okay, number 1.
Number 1. I hope this doesn't get me canceled, but I'm just giving it kudos. It's a fantastic film. My favorite director, Quentin Tarantino. Jamie Foxx might be better than Denzel. He doesn't have as many films, but
Jamie Foxx.
he might be better than Denzel. This is another movie that has everything. It's emotional, it's historical, it's comedy, it's shooting scenes. Leo DiCaprio is literally got anything you could ever want in a movie.
Yeah, do you want to bang that guy or what?
Yeah, I might. I mean, if he wanted me to. Fuck. You kidding me?
He only goes for 25 and younger women.
That's right. Yeah, I'm way too old for Leo. Basically, how I did my list is like, what 5 movies do I want to watch right now? And that's how I came up with Django. I could always watch Django no matter what. It's the best. So
the first 2 minutes of the movie, he said, "Who's that stumbling in the dark? Prepare to be rained."
Samuel L. might be the best character in that movie. He's great. Sneeze. Besides Superbad, do you think you'll watch any of these? Maybe Pirates?
Well, I'm not going to spoil too much, but I have seen over half of these.
Oh, great!
Wow,
good for you.
So 3.
That would be over half. Well, he doesn't want to spoil too much, so let's not pull it out of him.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to Jonathan then. Is that your real name, Jonathan? Can I call you Jonathan?
No, it's just John.
Okay, we'll move on to Johnny Anderson. His number 5.
Oh boy.
Tropic Thunder. Love this movie.
You said Pirates was the worst on here.
I forgot. I kind of forgot about this. This is horrible.
Great cast as Ben Stiller, Robert Downey Jr., who was nominated for an Oscar, Nick Nolte, Tom Cruise, Matthew McConaughey, Jack Black, Danny McBride.
That's a great cast.
Great satire on how dumb Hollywood is with the blackface and the simple Jack character. Makes fun of Hollywood perfectly. Next one.
Oh, sorry. I got sidetracked. Shouldn't this movie be canceled?
It's a satire. They're like making fun of how Hollywood is.
Doesn't somebody do blackface? You can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. They make fun of.
That's not funny. That's not funny.
No, they make fun of people who do blackface.
Well, that's not funny. You make fun of people who do stuff.
All right.
Canceled.
All right, let's cancel them right now.
John loses
the
point for this movie. Okay, number 4.
Wow.
So this is my favorite. This is my favorite Chris Nolan film, better than Inception, which was on someone else's list, and way better than Dark Knight, which are both great films. But this
Transformers?
is the best pick. It's going to clean up in the Oscars. Mark my words. It's going to win Best Picture. Cillian Murphy, or however you say it, it's going to win Best Actor. Downey should win Best Supporting Actor, but I think they might give it to De Niro because it's kind of his last hurrah with the Marty and Killers of the Flower Moon, and it's going to absolutely clean up in the sound and visual categories. Only thing knocking is maybe have a little bit of recency biases, but it did just come out on Blu-ray, so I'm probably going to pick it up anyways and give it a rewatch here.
This is already out on DVD?
On Blu-ray, yeah, today.
I have not seen this, but I do want to see it though. But
and it's basically
I've hesitated to this point because A, it's been in movie theaters, and B, it's like long. So
isn't it like 3+ hours?
Yes, but you're getting like 2 movies in one almost.
Cameron ain't sitting through 3 hours of movie.
Yeah, there's no shot.
Think of all the TikTok I could watch.
John, I do need your comment on something. So what do you say about the feminist movement? Lainey Wilson just took home best album over Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen, a host of other names this year. You don't think Barbie's going to take all those Oscars home?
No, I don't think Barbie's going to be awarded.
I don't know. I don't think Lainey Wilson deserved to win Album of the Year, but shit's rigged.
People just like her
I
tight
have
pants.
Zero clue who that lady is.
Lainey Wilson?
Yeah, she's a
Never
country
heard
singer.
her name in my life.
Google.
I guarantee you've seen her though.
Probably not.
Okay, next one.
Well, name one of her. What was her most popular song?
Heart Like a Trap.
Nope.
I know something about doing
Tennessee
things
Orange
a
or
man
something
couldn't
like
do. I know a few things a man needs to know or some shit like that.
I guess
Man,
I
I
don't
don't
listen to
know.
the radio much anymore.
She didn't deserve to win Album of the Year. I'll say that much.
Okay, we'll move along. Number 3.
Don't have a whole lot. Every time it's on TV, I watch it. We can do the next one.
Okay. Number 2.
Everything's been said. Spielberg, Shame It lost to Shakespeare in Love.
That is
Harvey
a damn shame.
Weinstein might be one of Harvey Weinstein's biggest things against him.
What, Shakespeare in Love?
Winning the Oscar.
Yeah.
Next one.
Yes. Number 1.
Might not be the best mob movie ever, but it's my favorite. My favorite Martin Scorsese movie. Won Best Pick, Best Director, Best Adapted. It's adapted from a Hong Kong movie called Internal Affairs, and it also won Best Editing. Also has a stacked cast: Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, De Niro, Wahlberg,
DiCaprio,
Martin
bro.
Sheen.
That's who he meant. Yeah.
What did I say?
He
Leonardo.
said De Niro.
Oh, my bad.
I
And
feel like De
then
Niro might show up in that movie.
Anthony Anderson's in
He
it.
doesn't.
Yeah, all right.
Great soundtrack. It's about my fellow Italian, or excuse me, Irish Americans, not Italians.
That's a big mix-up.
Yeah, that's. I was thinking. I've been watching Sopranos, so that's my list.
Sopranos is a great show. Maybe we can do shows next week.
Also, Miss Quentin Tarantino should probably put him on there because he's one of my favorite directors.
Yeah.
And Boyd, instead of Troy, you should put Gladiator on. Much better flick than freaking Troy.
It was a lot of, like, Saving Private Ryan probably should have made it, but it was a lot of flicks. Cinderella Man, I can go on for days.
Troy might be the worst pick of the whole fucking draft.
Good thing it was called Boyd's Movie Power Rankings, not John's.
You haven't seen Cameron's yet.
Mine are good.
You haven't seen mine either.
It's gonna be like Finding Nemo.
Tropic Thunder
I
is
almost put
pretty
that
wild.
actually.
Tropic Thunder is wild. That's wild.
Watch it again. I swear you'll laugh.
I mean, I'm sure I'll laugh, but
I'm going to laugh at these next 5.
Because the movie's been canceled.
that's true. We can't watch it.
Okay, we'll move on to Cameron. Number 5.
Okay, so it's been much talked about that I'm not the biggest movie person, and I don't have the patience for movies. I'm not interested in a lot of movie genres or topics. I don't like to invest time doing that because I'd like to do other things, such as growing up, play franchise mode and whatever the game is, play Fortnite,
study
go
hall.
outside, watch TikTok, do anything else besides watching movies. So my breadth of knowledge is very limited, and outside of these ones, which I know, don't ask me the actors, don't ask me the director, don't ask me anything else about it. So with that being said, my number 5 movie is Top Gun Maverick, Top Gun 2. This came out like last year. And it's one of the few movies that I watched and was like, well, I want to watch it again. So I've watched it twice, and I enjoyed it both times. The reason why I like it is because I felt like they did a good job laying out what the point of the mission was that was taking place, which I feel like is a flaw in a lot of military movies, where unless you're like well informed about the war or whatever's taking place, it's hard to follow what they're trying to accomplish. So I felt like they did a good job doing that, and at the end was pretty cool with the way they twisted and turned about who's getting killed, who's not getting killed, and then they rescued each other, and then they stole that
Spoilers,
plane.
spoilers. I haven't seen it.
So, anyways, it was a good movie, and if those that hadn't seen it in theaters are missing out because it
Oh,
was
I'm not gonna
much
see
better
it
in
now.
theaters. So, anyways, that's number 5.
Sometimes you have to give a spoiler so it sounds so good so somebody can
I'll
watch
watch
it.
it for what the movie
It's like a
is. Tell me
superhero
good
movie. The good guys win. It's you know what you're getting
So
into.
I recently watched the original of this, and it's horrible.
Yeah, the second one is way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see this though. Okay, number 4.
Okay, number 4, super bad. Connor, his point on this was very spot on, and is what I was gonna say as well. The fact that it kind of lined up with us in the high school years, where and it was in terms of myself, and I guess you guys probably feel the same way. It was very educational in the fact that like we kind of learned the way those people lived, and kind of like the behind the scenes, under the table kind of stuff that takes place at that age in terms of women and alcohol consumption and so on and so forth. And there was obviously many funny jokes and one-liners in between. So all around, this is one of those movies that you can watch back multiple times. So it made the list.
He likes to draw dicks.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3.
So number 3, it's been talked about a couple times. I actually watched the opening scene of this yesterday or 2 days ago, because as far as I'm concerned, in terms of my viewpoints, I think the firefighters and policemen who raced into the Twin Towers, and the people who landed on the beach in Omaha Beach, are the 2 most heroic events that I've ever heard of, as far as I'm concerned. So the opening scene is like half an hour long, goes through that. And then, like some of you have said, the storyline is pretty interesting along the way, as far as them trying to save Private Ryan. So for those reasons, it made the list.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2 is The Truman Show. So growing up, interestingly, I always wondered about the concept of maybe my life is a TV show, and like stuff that's happening around me is like planted. And then like in middle school, I heard about this being a movie, and that's how it is. So I don't know if you guys seen this?
Yeah.
I have not.
You've not seen
So
Truman Show, Teebs?
No,
it is
I haven't really
Oh,
ever heard of
man.
it.
it is
Oh,
quite
dude.
interesting, and it's just a concept that's like unlike any other movie that I'm aware of.
Mhm.
And it's I guess I won't spoil too much, but um very interesting. I've watched it multiple times. Jim Carrey is kind of goofy and funny. But above all, I think the concept is just what draws me into the interest on the movie. So those of you who haven't seen it, I think that's worth a watch. If
I
I'm
might
gonna have
get
to suffer.
some hate for this, but I'm not a huge Jim Carrey guy. He kind of gets on my nerves.
If I have to
That's a
suffer through
bad
some of
take.
your shitty movies, you have to watch this one.
He's funny
Teebs,
and
that's
Dumb
your-
and Dumber.
That's
No,
your
this
homework.
is a good
is
flick,
Truman
good
Show.
pick, Cameron.
But and that's what I was gonna say with a lot of these. Like, where the hell do you watch these? Like, you gotta. I'm not paying a friggin' subscription to go watch one of these movies.
Tropic
That's
Thunder's
why you
free on
jailbreak your
Pluto
Fire
TV.
Stick, dude. I can watch anything I want.
Teebs, you're signed
Yeah,
up to
I
enough.
do have my thing.
You should sign up to enough streamers. It's going to be on one of them.
Pluto
He can
TV is
jailbreak his
free
Fire
and it
Stick
has
I
for
don't
free.
know. Where do I find it? How do I know which one it's on? I gotta go through
You-
each app.
No, you
It's-
just Google it and it lists it right under the film. It says available on such and such.
All right. Well, while we see this next one, you tell me where Truman shows where I
Okay,
can.
I'll tell you.
I
in-
watched it
in
on Amazon
15
Prime
seconds.
at one point, but that might be not on there anymore. But
Yeah, they rotate. Go ahead, number 1.
It's on
Number
Amazon.
1.
anywho, number 1 is Forrest Gump. Connor was talking about Tom Hanks's acting career. This is number 1. Out of all movies, like I said, these are maybe one of the 5-8 movies I've watched multiple times. Forrest Gump I've watched like 10 times. And similar to Superbad, I feel like watching Forrest Gump is like a kind of a history lesson on different aspects of life that you otherwise wouldn't get. From his disability to him getting on the school bus and having nobody to sit by, and then Jenny tries to be a friend, and so on and so forth. There's just so many different life lessons that you can learn from Forrest Gump, and along the way, he has all kinds of different funny adventures, dramatic adventures. There's military, there's sports, there's intercourse, there's all kinds of things you can explore through Forrest Gump. So I'm fairly certain everyone has watched this, but until you have watched Forrest Gump, I maintain your life is not complete. So if anyone's watching that has not yet done so, make that your highest priority. So with that being
Can't
said,
imagine that's the case.
I hope you enjoy my list. It wasn't so bad after all, was it?
It's a good list. I mean,
watch,
I haven't seen
number
Top
one,
Gun
number two.
Maverick. Teeps Paramount Plus, or you can just pay $4 and buy the movie, and then you have it forever.
I don't have Paramount Plus, and why would I want to keep it forever?
It's worth $4.
Can you pay for it then?
Yeah, I'll buy it for you.
We'll see.
I told you what to do. If you don't listen, that's
I'm gonna do the jailbreak.
Yeah,
well, it's already
jailbreak.
broken. I'll just find it through that. Yeah.
Listeners, don't rat them out. Just do the jailbreak.
Yeah, I mean it's all over YouTube. Like it's not a secret. People do it.
It's 2023. You can watch these movies anywhere.
Yeah. Jailbreak your stuff, people. It's 2023.
I cannot believe you haven't seen Truman Show.
Bro, we're gonna get demonetized.
What
now.
year was that made?
Probably 99.
I expect to make a fifth of what we make off ads on this show.
We don't make anything
Psych.
off ads, so.
Then why are we doing it?
Get a fifth of $0.
I want those 3 cents.
Okay, John.
Let's
Move on to mine. Okay.
Okay.
Number 5, The Prestige.
Never heard of it.
It's got a great cast. Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, and the always gorgeous Scarlett Johansson. Unlike you guys, I'll avoid spoilers. But if you love twists, watch this one. It's a great.
Don't give any spoilers.
Also a Chris Nolan film.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4. Most of us have had it. Saving Private Ryan. We've all kind of touched on it, so I don't really have much more to say. Yeah, great cast. I think John quickly said his name, but every time I rewatch this, I always laugh. And when I remember that Vin Diesel is in this, just kind of an odd guy. You wouldn't picture him in this, I guess. But
who does he play?
He's like the guy who gets trapped out in the middle, with a sniper shooting at him. It's like pouring down rain.
Yeah,
he got beat.
Yeah, he did get beat.
But yeah, it's got the good action. For as far as war movies, this is the best one. Good action. It's got good dialogue, good storytelling, and it has just that little bit to get you a little sentimental. So yeah, great flick. Number 3, Parasite. I don't know if any of you have seen this, but this is the one I was kind of referencing a while ago that Cameron will absolutely hate and will watch it for 12 seconds and then back out.
Is this one that's like in a different language?
Yeah, it's in all Korean. You got to watch it.
Yeah,
but so is Squid Game, and you watch that.
It's the first foreign language film to win Best Picture.
Boy, that's not how they talk.
Well, anyway, with the movie, it's fantastic. Yeah, I'm the first person to throw a fit about having to watch something with subtitles on, but if I'm saying this is worth it, that means it's worth it. It's great. I've also only seen this one time, and I've got it on the list at number 3, so I should also tell you that's pretty good. It's got a lot of twists, a little bit of suspense. It's also good storytelling.
So without going into too much details, like generally, is it like a horror movie? Is it like Saw and the fact that they're like playing a game?
No. I don't even. I guess what would the genre for this be?
Is it a thriller or a drama?
Situation.
Yeah, thriller. I guess. Yeah. There's a couple of moments where you kind of like little jump scare, but it's not like a scary movie. No.
I'm ashamed that I haven't seen it.
That's more of like
I
suspense.
I need to see it ASAP.
Have you seen his other movie, Bong Joon-ho's Snowpiercer?
No.
Chris Evans. If you like that one, you'll like.
Is that the one with the train?
Yeah.
I have seen that.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah, that was on
it's
Netflix for a
English
while.
language though too, so that's nice.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, this is a good movie. Great flick.
Whenever I've heard you talk about this in years past, and I keep getting it confused with Human Centipede.
Yeah, that's
Not
not
the
a great
same.
flick. This is very
was-
much different.
That was number 6 on my list. I just missed it.
Yeah, go watch this one. I think it was on Hulu when I watched it, so I don't. It's probably not there anymore, but it's Hulu's at least free. Well, for me. Okay, number 2, Shawshank. John had this one. Is that who had it? Yeah. Anyways, this is it's an oldie, but it's an all-time classic. I feel like every time I watch it, it's like it's kind of slow, but like the stories within the movie, like it kind of just like sucks you in. So it's like it's slow while you're watching it, but it's like entertaining at the same time. And the fact that like Morgan Freeman's like narrating throughout the movie, like his voice is just like calming, and it's nice. This is one I think. John, I don't know if this was John said this for this movie, but it's one, if it's on TV, I'll turn it on. Like if I'm flipping channels and I see it's on, I'll continue watching from wherever it is in the movie. If it just started, if it's towards the end, I'll finish it out. It's great. And then last one, same as John, The Departed. This is a fantastic movie. I've mentioned good casts in some of these other ones, but yeah, this, like John said, it's got Leo, it's got Matt Damon, it's got Jack Nicholson, Marky Mark, Martin Sheen. It's got a whole list. You got cops, you got mobs, you got cops. It's got it all. Good suspense, good dialogue, like Saving Private Ryan. And the acting's fantastic. I don't know if you know anything about it, but or Cameron. I'm talking to Cameron mainly, but
No, I've heard, like, it rings a bell as being a movie, but I never gave it any thought beyond that in my life. But I mean, it's two people's number one, so like
it's good.
I mean, honestly, other than like a drug scenario, probably my least other interesting genre would be mobsters. So this is gonna be a tough sell for me, but I'll give it a try, I guess, if two people had a number one.
It's not like too heavily mob, but I mean it's revolved around it, but it's not like super. Just watch it and you'll see.
I gotta give it a try too. I've never seen it.
This is the one we missed on Dozen Trivia, Sneeze.
Yeah, not surprised.
Kicking myself.
Well, I kind of made it difficult with that because Marky Mark's not like a main character, and I think I've said him and Leo were like the two characters trying to throw you off a little bit.
Is Casey Affleck in this?
No, not he's in Gone Baby Gone. Is that what you're thinking of? It's like a cop.
I might be getting it mixed up with Good Will Hunting, just with the Boston guys, but I thought maybe he was in this too.
No. But yeah, there it is. There's a list.
Look at scary movie over there. You guys are gonna get weak. Sneeze, you gotta watch it.
So I've out of Boyd's, I've seen only The Dark Knight, but couldn't really tell you much about it. Connor's, I maybe seen Pirates of the Caribbean, but I don't recall a single bit of that. But I've seen Saving Private Ryan. I've not seen Inception. I've of course seen Superbad, and I have actually, in fact, watched Django before. That was like 2 years ago. I watched it like COVID time, something around there. None of John's I've watched besides Saving Private Ryan, although I am going to watch Oppenheimer. And then I guess I'm going to have to watch Departed and The Shawshank because it's on multiple lists. And then there's my list.
Shawshank.
And then out of Teebs, I've only seen Saving Private Ryan out of his. So, yeah.
What were your thoughts on Django? I'm curious.
It was because all the time I'm like trying to watch movies, and so I'm Google searching like what's the best movie of the 90s, what's the best movie of whatever it is, and then like finally I might break down and watch something. I thought it was okay to, like it was a decent 2 hours of entertainment or whatever it was. It wasn't like something I'd be like, putting on my list or anything, but it was more worthwhile than some other movies have been. So I guess it's passed the test.
Yeah, I like Django. It's a good movie.
Prepare to be Wayne.
If you guys do like sports documentaries, let me know. I'll join on that one.
Might be a
I
good
doubt
one.
it. I doubt
Yeah.
we do. We try to do this for.
Anytime we can get John on the show,
for
we
the
need to
lives.
we need to find a way.
Agreed.
Yeah, John was
I've
electric.
seriously literally seen just about every 30 for 30.
I do enjoy the 30s. Those are great.
All right. Well, it's past
All
my
right, yeah.
bedtime for about an hour and a half, so I got to get the fuck off.
You're not off for Veterans Day? Shout out to the veterans.
Fuck no, I got to work.
Well, you should take the day off.
Yes, you gotta sling that shit to the vets, huh?
I'll see you guys on Fortnite tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you.
See, you gotta watch
Thanks for
the
watching.
dude.
All right, yeah, thanks for watching.